Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hey, welcome to GenXGrownUp. My name is Mo, and I am a GenXGrownUp. GenXGrownUp does a weekly podcast. You should definitely listen to it. And every other week we do what's called a backtrack, where we look at something from us growing up as a Gen Xer and kind of do a deep dive. And I would highly personally recommend that you subscribe to our podcast. I'm going to put a link right here, and please subscribe because I'm sure you will enjoy it. We recently did a backtrack on retired commercial icons. And let me tell you, when I was doing the show notes, I go through and I try to find things that kind of appropriate to what we talk about so people have some interesting links. And I wound up reminiscing, spending so much time looking at these old commercials, which made me realize two things. One, that how much these icons really ingrained themselves into my head and really brought me back to that time. And second, that I watched way too much TV as a kid. So let's get to it. Here it is, my top 10 retired commercial icons. And coming in at number 10 is Mr. Whipple. You would think as a store manager, Mr. Whipple would have better things to do than stop people from squeezing toilet paper. But apparently not, since he did over 500 commercials that started in 1964 and didn't end until they retired him in 1985. And every commercial ended with him succumbing to temptation, and also saying that famous catchphrase,
"Don't squeeze the Charmin."
New squeezably soft Charmin bathroom tissue from Procter & Gamble. Take it home and squeeze it.
And at number 9 is Crazy Eddie. Now this one may not be a shared experience with everybody, since Crazy Eddie's was a northeast chain of electronics stores. But if you grew up as a Gen Xer in the New York area, you definitely remember Crazy Eddie's. The commercials are always low budget, entertaining, and almost always on during non-primetime hours. The whole marketing campaign started because a DJ was reading some copy for Crazy Eddie's, and he decided to punch up the line to say that their prices were insane. And Crazy Eddie owners liked it so much they actually hired him to do their commercials from that point forward. Before they went out of business in 1989, he did over 7,500 commercials for this store, and every single one ending with
"With prices that are insane."
And coming in at number 8 is Fred the Baker, otherwise known as Time to Make the Donuts guy. This poor guy was forced to wake up early from 1981 until about 1997. He was played by Michael Vale, who's actually a serious actor, and you may not remember him, but he was also the Sam Breakstone spokesman for Breakstone Sour Cream. To this day, whenever somebody has to get up extra early for some reason, you're invariably going to hear the "Time to Make the Donuts" comment. At number 7 is Punchy, the Hawaiian Punch guy. The Punchy character was reimagined in 2003, but the original one started back in 1962 and ran until the late 90s. When the first commercial aired back in The Tonight Show with Jack Parr, he apparently liked the commercial so much he had them play it again and said, "This one's on us." The one coming in at number 6 I honestly didn't remember until I started doing my research into old commercials. But once I found this one, I really remembered the Mother Nature and the Chiffon Margarine. It was a pretty awesome campaign where basically they fooled Mother Nature into thinking that their margarine is real butter. And she always ended every commercial with,
"Not nice to fool Mother Nature."
And at number 5 is the Maytag Repairman. The commercials debuted in 1970 and ran into 1989, and they were used to show that Maytag appliances were so reliable that their repairman had absolutely nothing to do. Even though a few different actors played the Maytag Repairman, this was a pretty effective marketing campaign. Number 4 is Morris the Cat. This large orange tabby was labeled as the world's most finicky cat and would only eat 9 lives. Morris has some really funny one-liners in all the commercials. Since his debut in 1968, all of the cats that portrayed Morris were rescues, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, we're heading into my top 3, and number 3 is Gidget, who you know better as the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog. Gidget was part of Taco Bell's marketing campaign from 1994 until 2009. He was so popular that there was just a ton of other merchandise made, and pretty much anything he said became a catchphrase.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
And at number 2, Spuds MacKenzie. Spuds MacKenzie is a bull terrier that first showed up in Super Bowl 11 in 1987, which happened to be when the Giants beat the Broncos, and was retired in 1989 due to pressure about selling to children. Not many people know that the dog's real name was Honey Tree Evil Eye, but they used to call him Evie, and he was everywhere. And coming in at number 1 is Where's the Beef Lady? The original purpose of this campaign was really to distinguish Wendy's as having more beef and less bun than McDonald's and Burger King, but it quickly morphed into its own life and became a huge success. The actress Clara Peller became a celebrity in her own right, where she was on talk shows, she met with the mayor, and you could hear the phrase in things like championship wrestling.
Where's the beef?
Hey, where's the beef?
And in presidential campaigns.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Even today, when somebody wants to question the substance of an idea or a product, the phrase
Where's the beef?
still comes up, which is why it's my number one choice. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. I know I did. And I'm sure there are some that I forgot. I'm sure there are things on the top 10 list that you would not have put on and things that you wish were on there. So please, I'd love to hear about it. Throw comments, throw notes, send us an email, send them smoke signals. I don't care. I'd just love to hear from you guys and hear your opinions. And until next time, take care.
GenXGrownUp is dedicated to bringing you new Generation X inspired videos every week. Here are a couple more you can watch right now, but for even more, subscribe and enable those notifications. And if you love what we do, we invite you to support us over on Patreon. And of course, your feedback in the comments and a quick thumbs up are always appreciated.